Hi, it's me, Carrie, and today I want to talk to women. I wanted to talk a little bit about how to express your desires to a man, or at least to yourself, so that you can get them met, your needs and your desires. I know that in my relationships in the past, I've had a lot of trouble expressing exactly what I want, and it's extremely difficult to get what you want if you can't clarify it, or if you feel ashamed of wanting what you want. And even since I've been making these videos for the past few days, I've had a couple women come forward and say some things that make me wonder a little bit about what their stake in being like that is. And I'll just give you an example. A friend of mine said that they don't mind if their boyfriend looks at pornography as long as he doesn't touch. And I've heard that many, many times. And I still think that most women inside their hearts would much rather have a man that doesn't look at pornography. It would be ridiculous to think that if you could have a man that only had eyes for you sexually, that you would pass that up and opt to say, no, I want you to want other people, and then just as long as you don't touch. It's just like, why would you want them to want that? I mean, wouldn't it be great if you could be enough? I mean, this is just how I feel about it. And I think some women, like, I've seen some women try to be acceptable to men through kind of watering down their desires. They're settling a little bit, like, I know I can't have a man that only has eyes for me, so I want an edge on other women by being cooler than other women. I would like to be the woman that can say, hey, porn doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me if you go to the strip club and give your sexual attention to other women, as long as you bring it home to me, and as long as you don't have sex physically with other women, I'm fine with that. Well, I really don't know that I believe that that's exactly what a woman really wants, or if that's just what she's willing to settle for. Because I have a hard time understanding that. Like, why would you want that? Why would you want somebody to want somebody else, period? If you could, I guess they just don't know that it's possible, and so they're accidentally saying that's what I want, when what they really mean is that's what I'm willing to put up with. So basically, I just want to help clarify some of what you want, so that you can get it, because if you can't clarify it, it's going to be really hard to get it. And here's a couple things that I think are making it hard for women to ask for what they want. I think that in the past they've tried to get a need met, like they need to talk about something, and then they attempt to talk. Maybe their boyfriend was watching a movie with them and he said, damn, she's hot. And that hurt her all night long, and she sat there in silence and didn't say anything because she didn't want him to get mad, which is what most men do when a woman says something like, what do you mean by that? That hurts my feelings. Instant defense. I mean, I already know why women don't mention it, because it's not worth it. But anyway, so you sit there with your feelings hurt all night thinking, he wants other people, and I was sitting here thinking it's me and him, and I thought he felt about me the way I feel about him, and now I just don't know where we stand. And there's so many mosquitoes out here, sorry, but I'm being attacked right now. But basically, so women find it hard to try to get what they need. So as women, we've accidentally come upon the conclusion that men hate women's needs, that they don't want to meet your needs, and that they hate it when you have needs, and so women try to not need anything from men. But then they hate that too, and it's confusing. And I read a book by John Gray, who I adore and admire. John Gray, that wrote Mars and Venus. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. And he said, it's not need that men despise, it's hopelessness. When you come to a man after you're so hurt already, you've been so hurt for so long, and you're already resentful, and you come to him hopeless, like you already know you're not going to get what you need. And it's not so much in the words you say, but it's in the tone of your voice. He can see that you're already hopeless. When I say, you know what, fine, you look at your porn, I'll be in the other room, it'd be, when I come at somebody like that, because they know in that instant that I've already been resentful for a very long time. When I come to somebody and give them a chance to change something, it sounds more like, listen, I'm not sure exactly why you feel the need to look at pornography, but for me, first of all, honestly, I would say this, just like John Gray suggests. You don't necessarily have to say or do anything, but I want to say something. Would you mind listening to me for a minute while I express something that's been on my mind for a long time? I would feel so much better if I could just get this off my chest. And then maybe another day we can talk about what to do about it. But right now, I'll just feel better if you hear me and understand me. And then I would launch off and say, I don't really understand pornography. And this is totally true. I'm being real honest from my heart right now in this video while I say this. I don't really understand pornography or what it does for a man. But when you look at it, I feel hurt and far away. And I feel like I'm not good enough for you. And basically, I'm not fulfilling you sexually. So you have to, or I'm not turning you on. And so you have to look at other women to be turned on. I would like to know what I'm doing to make it hard for you to be satisfied with just me. But at this point, I just want to be understood. Okay, so I would say something like that, and I would just keep it really short and just start the conversation. Some women think that because it's so painful to talk to men when they don't want to hear you, that they should just say it all in one big setting, and so they're trying to cram it all in because they don't know when they'll ever get to mention it again, because a lot of times men don't like hearing stuff like this. So instead of cramming it all into one conversation, they can almost kind of hear you if you just break it down into bite-sized pieces. And they don't understand, for the most part, that you're so hysterical because you're trying to get it all over with at once. You're so starved for conversation that you're just like over swinging, and you're trying to cram it all in there, and you're trying to say it right, and you feel like if you say one word wrong, he's going to get up and walk out. And keep in mind, if any men are watching this, conversation, especially emotional conversation, is to women what sex is to men. When a man gets up and walks out while a woman's talking about her feelings about something important to her like this, about pornography or sex or feeling jealous or threatened, it's the same as if a woman got up in the middle of sex and walked out, or said, you know what, you suck in bed and I don't want to ever feel this ever again. That's what it's like when a man says, you know what, I hate talking about this and I don't ever want to hear you talk about this again. It's a devastating thing. And a woman will give up in that instant, on your relationship and ever feeling loved. So, unless you want the woman you love to feel that way, I wouldn't suggest exiting when it takes a lot to bring something like this to a man. So if she's doing that, take it for granted. She loves you and she wants to have sex with you and she wants to feel close to you. But anyway, back to what I'm saying to women. So if you can, first of all, not feel embarrassed of your desires, it's fine to not want a man to look at porn. It doesn't mean he won't. It doesn't mean you'll get everything you want. But you can definitely up the odds of you getting what you want and need if you can say, I'd really like a man that only had eyes for me sexually. I would like that. That would make me turned on. That would make me feel more excited to be his girlfriend or his wife. And I would definitely feel calm in my home life and at work if I didn't have to share him sexually all the time. I think that's a natural thing for a woman to feel. And, when they say things to us women about, oh, men are hardwired to look at all these different people and have sex with all these different people, that's bogus. Birds fly north because that's their instinct. And it's natural and healthy for them. Women want, a man's desire to be only for them in a committed relationship, or whatever you want to say, a long-term relationship. The reason a woman only wants her man to have sex with her and want her sexually is because it's good for her. Now, God didn't create men to not need what women need. I mean, God wouldn't do that. He wouldn't make women with a need that men can't naturally fulfill. It should be effortless for both sides. I'm not saying men need to use willpower to control themselves from looking at other women and porn. I'm saying there's a way for a man to not need that stuff anymore. And I'm saying that women shouldn't have to act like they're cool with pornography and a man looking at all their friends and all the girls around them, you know, sexually. Women shouldn't have to act like that's comforting or healthy either. That's not comforting. That makes you feel like chopped liver when you're standing next to a man that's looking every other woman up and down. It's humiliating. And women shouldn't have to live with that. And here's the thing. Women don't want men to stop looking at porn or other women sexually from willpower. They know, women innately know, that there's a way for a man to want her. Because, see, for the first 6 weeks of a romantic relationship, men generally do only want her. And his desire for her eclipses his desire for anybody else. It's not that he doesn't like other people or relate to them. It's that he is consumed with burning desire for his girlfriend. And once you give a woman a taste of that and then downgrade her by looking at other women while she's, whether she's standing with you or not, but once you downgrade her from something she's seen you do, she saw you feel a need for her to be the singular sexual object in her life. In your life. She's the only one you wanted sexually for a good 6 weeks or a couple months after y'all met. And then you want to say, after a little while you get used to her, or she does something that turns you off, or she rejects you most likely on some level. One night you feel rejected, and you start looking around again at other women. She notices that you were capable of filling her need, and then on some level decided to stop. And she doesn't know why. She doesn't even know you feel rejected that night, that she got super busy and said, no, I don't feel like having sex tonight. She doesn't even know that hurt. This is for men. But anyway, basically back to what I'm saying, because I need to wrap this video up, is that if a woman can own her desires, it's fine to want a man to be exclusive with you. It's fine to be lit up by the thought that you're the only one he wants sexually. And that when he fantasizes, it's actually you he wants to fantasize about. That's wonderful and exciting, and there's no shame in wanting that with your partner. There's nothing wrong with that. So you don't have to act like it's kosher for men to want everybody around you. That's humiliating. That's not kosher. It's hurtful. And women don't have to act like it's okay. You know, so you know, anytime somebody's standing up for themselves and things have been messed up for a long time, like when African Americans couldn't sit on a bus. The first person that sat on the white bus, probably a lot of their African American friends were scared for them. They were worried about what might happen to them, and it's hard to kind of stand by somebody that's really sticking their neck out like that, because they might get hurt. And I'm sticking my neck out right now, and I know I might get hurt or judged, and people might throw stones and act like I'm asking for too much, and men will be men. But you know what I'm noticing? Men appreciate finding out what women are really thinking and wanting. And it's not that they haven't always wanted to know. It's that women are stopping awfully short of expressing their real needs and desires. And so I just want to finish this sentence for all of us and say, we want you to want us, because it's so amazing when you do. When you want us exclusively and sexually, we're flying high. We're on top of the world. We can do anything. We have energy to, you know, change diapers and wipe snotty noses and go to work and bring home the bacon and fry it in a pan and then have good sex and then wake up and do it all over again the next day. But it is not fun to have sex with a man that you think is just using willpower to come home and have sex with you. That's not fun. And so anyway, I'll talk more next time about maybe desire versus willpower. We don't want men to stop watching porn out of like churchy obligation, like, oh, porn is bad, I don't want to look at that. You know, no, we want to find out what it is that's turning you off and fix it so that you'll be turned on, so it'll be all desire. All we want is your desire. So this is a really good thing. This is really good news for everybody, men and women. And so anyway, leave me your comments below. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you soon.